Sometimes a single piece of military hardware can cause a massive geopolitical shift. Today, we're unpacking the story of the Prometheus shield and the absolutely groundbreaking India-Russia S500 deal.
Look, to really get this deal, you have to understand the relationship behind it. Prime Minister Modi really captured it perfectly when he said, the warmth in India-Russia relations will always remain. It's this deep personal trust, not just political convenience, that makes a deal of this magnitude even possible.
So, when President Putin recently visited India, it wasn't just some routine diplomatic trip. People are calling it a strategic reset. And apparently, he brought a game-changing gift with him, one that was meant to send a very clear message to the rest of the world. And that gift, well, that's the S500 Prometheus. So what is this thing? And why is this one single weapon system causing such a stir everywhere from Beijing to Washington, D.C.?
To answer that, let's dive into the hardware. This is the S500, and believe me, it's being called a true game-changer in modern defense for a reason.
You can't really appreciate the S500 without looking at where it came from, its predecessor, the S400. During recent border tensions, the S400 created what was basically an impenetrable air shield. It proved just how incredibly efficient it was. In fact, it was so successful that it raised a new question. What could possibly come next?
Well, what comes next is a whole new dimension of warfare. We're talking near-space defense. This isn't just about flying a little higher. The S500 can intercept threats in the exosphere, the very edge of space itself. That fundamentally changes the entire battlefield.
The leap from the S400 to the S500 is, well, it's staggering. The S500 can reach up to 200 kilometers in altitude. That's 5 times higher than the S400. And it's not just altitude. It can now target ballistic and even hypersonic missiles. This isn't just some small, incremental upgrade. It's a complete redefinition of what air defense even means.
So let's break down what the Prometheus can actually do. We're talking about intercepting hypersonic missiles, weapons that travel at insane speeds. It can destroy stealth aircraft, the kind that are designed to be totally invisible to radar. It can track and engage up to 10 ballistic targets at the same time. And it does this using these advanced hit-to-kill kinetic interceptors, which are just unbelievably precise.
But of all the specs, here's the number that really just stops you in your tracks. 3 to 4 seconds. That's its reaction time, the time from detecting a threat to launching an interceptor. The S400, which is already fast, takes about 9 to 10 seconds. In modern warfare, those extra 6 seconds are an absolute eternity.
So, here's the crucial takeaway. This is maybe the simplest way to think about the difference, and it's a direct quote from our source material. The S400 protects from threats in the sky. The S500 protects from threats coming from space. We're talking about a whole new battlefield. Okay, so the tech is incredible, right? But believe it or not, the missile system itself is only half the story. To really understand what's going on here, we have to look beyond the hardware.
See, the S500 deal isn't just a sale. It's a co-production agreement. And it's not happening in a vacuum. It's just one piece of a much larger, symbiotic relationship between India and Russia that covers everything from energy and trade all the way to future tech.
This whole partnership is really built on several key pillars. You've got energy security through long-term oil and nuclear deals. There's collaboration on other advanced armaments like the Su-57 jets. They're even working on new Arctic shipping routes and teaming up on future tech like space and AI. The S500 gets all the headlines, but this right here, this is the much bigger story.
Okay, so it's a big, deep, multifaceted alliance. But what's in it for them? What does each side actually gain from all this?
And you might be asking yourself, especially when it comes to India, with so many options on the global market, why stick with Russian military technology?
It all comes down to one word: trust. But this isn't some vague feeling, right? It's built on really practical stuff. Russian hardware is battle-tested, it's reliable. But even more important, Russia is willing to co-produce, not just sell. That makes it a real partnership, not just a transaction. Then you factor in the great price point, a guaranteed supply of spare parts, and a deep respect for India's strategic independence, and you start to see why this relationship is so solid.
When you really look at it, the strategic thinking here is, well, it's a perfect win-win. India gets to diversify its defense sources, it gains critical technology, and it shores up its energy security. For Russia, it secures a major, stable defense partner, finds a way to work around Western sanctions, and gets to tap into India's massive manufacturing base. Both nations are getting exactly what they need.
So what's the long-term play here? Because this alliance isn't just for today. It's about shaping the security landscape for the next quarter century.
And there's a quote from one of our sources that just nails it. This isn't just a defense cooperation. This is India shaping its own security architecture for the next 25 years. It's a really clear signal of a long-term strategic vision.
And that's what this all boils down to, right? It leaves us with one final crucial question. As new alliances form and global tensions continue to rise, how will this powerful Eurasian partnership reshape the world map? That's the question we'll all be watching.
I'm Yogeshri. This channel is powered entirely by AI. From the stories I tell to the visuals you see. This is where artificial intelligence meets creativity. Enjoy the show.